Okay, my friends, so we have nailed the cast on, which is how you get your stitches onto your needle to begin with. We have nailed the knit stitch, which we have learnt along this row. So now we've ended up with all our stitches on our right needle, and we're going to flip it over. So it's on our left now. Got our taily tail on our left side and our ball string on our right. And we're going to get our needle again and we're going to learn to purl. There's not really a fun little kind of sadistic acronym for this, although I suppose you could do something similar. But with purling, whereas with knit we went in from the left, do you remember? We went that way. Purling, and essentially we went in from the left and our yarn was behind, see? Our yarn was behind. When we are purling, we're coming in hot from the right and our yarn's going to be in front. So we might just put it over here. So when we're purling, we're still holding nicely our left hand, left needle, and our blank right needle where we're going to put the stitches onto. And we're coming in hot from the right with the yarn at the front. So left to right, and we're staying in the front. And then we're going to get our yarn, and we're going to, so we've still kind of done the stab. We're going to do the strangle. So we go kind of up, over and around. And again, I like to hold my yarn like this to give a good amount of tension. So we've done the stab, the strangle. Oh, we still kind of reel them in, but we reel, see that kind of went from the front to the back, and we still throw them off a cliff. And see, my yarn is still at the front. So for purling, you always want to have your yarn at the front. So as a knot, this is awkward, at the back. That would be great for a knit stitch. If you were then going to do a knit stitch, great, your yarn's at the back. But if you want to keep purling a row, you keep your yarn at the front. All right, so for a purl, we come in hot from the right and we stay at the front for our stabby stab. We're still strangling, we go around from the back to the front. We hold a nice tension, and if that's too tight, if you're kind of up here, you're not going to be able to have the space to do it, so you need to give a little amount of space and keep a bit of tension. So we kind of reel them in that way and throw them off a cliff. So let's go again for our purl stitch. Coming in hot from the right, staying at the front. Stabby, strangle, whoop. Back to front strangle. It's going through, really, and off the cliff. Okay, and again we want to just, as we go, move these stitches up to the edge of the flat bit of the needle where it goes to the point. Purling is from the right, keeping at the front, stabby, back to front, strangle, reel them in, throw them off that cliff. Okay, we're almost there. I'll just do a few more. Now, throw, stab, strangle, reel, throw. I need to find out this lady's name who really went viral, the old stab, strangle, reel them in, throw them off a cliff. But man, is it a good way to remember. And if you're teaching kids, they bloody love it. So here we've got a couple more. From the right to the left, staying at the front. Strangle. You can make up your own nice one if you want and send it, so if it's not so murderous, we could give it another go. And this is your last one. To the left, through, and off. The last ones always look a bit baggy, but you do not need to worry about that. So now, like I was talking about, on this side, which is the wrong side, and we know that because this is our tail is on the left. Whenever our tail's on the left at the end of a row, that's our wrong side. And we've got purl stitches, which we just did, and they're lovely little bumps, kind of like pearls, see? And if we're going to flip it over to our right side again, which is when the tail is on the right, we have created our little knit stitches. Do you see our V's? Aren't we clever? So that is stockinette stitch. When you knit the right side and you purl the wrong side. And now we've learned to knit and purl. Knit and purl. And those two stitches together will form the basis of all of the beginner garments, and you can do incredible stuff. So you can do, this is called a rib stitch, which we're going to learn next. So that's great for all cuffs and hems and collars. Rib stitch, garter stitch, which I talked about, where you just knit every row, and stockinette stitch, not to mention any of the cool patterns that if you do some other kits you're going to learn.